This tutorial focuses on how to set up a new project within LIM image processing software. When LIM is first opened, the current dashboard will be visible. This lists all of the documents that are currently being worked on, the project they've been assigned, and their current workflow step. For a more detailed explanation of the dashboard and how it works, please view the Understanding the Dashboard video in this series. To start a new project, click the New Project button at the top of the screen. Give the project a name, a description if you like, and then add at least one document. The finished files from all documents assigned to your project name will be saved to the same directory. The middle area of the screen allows a preview of the first 10 images in the document folder. The area to the right of the screen is your first opportunity to retrieve a MARC record or assign other metadata files to the document. To retrieve a MARC record, click the .mrc button. Search for the book title, and choose an entry from the list. It is also possible to connect to an OAI server or Z3950 server to retrieve metadata through this form. We're going to choose the default image processing template for now. This will enable all of the workflow steps, but you can choose to disable any unnecessary steps later. So click the arrow to continue. The 6 different workflow steps are now visible at the top of the screen. The import step gives LIM guidelines on what to import. Image processing creates a list of actions for LIM to apply to all of the images within the folder. Quality control allows the user to edit individual images. Structuring will allow you to define document structure and tag image sections. OCR analyzes an image and produces editable text using optical character recognition, and this also allows for searchable PDF documents. And finally, export allows you to choose output formats that include 3 different types of files: metadata, image, and document files. The document folder that I have chosen to process for this tutorial is a book that has been digitized in such a way that there is 1 book page per image. So let's choose our default processing template and move right on from the import to the image processing step. Now in the image processing step, we have the ability to create a list of actions for LIM to apply to all of the other images within the same folder. In the center of the screen, you can see that we have a preview of an image. Just to the right of that will be a list of image processes or tools that have been applied. And on the far right is a full list of tools that we have to apply or to choose from. So for this example, I want to end up with cropped pages that have been converted to grayscale with the background removed. The Remove Clamps tool will detect and erase clamps from Kirtas scanners. You'll notice that several tools in LIM are actually made up of 2 different parts. There's a selection and then an action. So to crop, we're going to use the Detect Page Region tool and the Crop tool. The Detect Page Region tool is going to analyze the image and draw a selection box around the edge of the page. And this is the box that LIM will reference when I crop. Within this tool, I can specify how much of the book is visible in my image. In this case, it's a full page, and a spine, and part of the next page. I can also adjust the size of the selection box by defining a margin. A positive number will add pixels to the selection, making the selection bigger than the page, whereas a negative number will make the selection smaller and crop inside the edge of the page. I can also choose to fix the crop size so that all images within the document will have exactly the same dimensions. Then crop. Next, I will choose the Color Mode tool and convert the image into grayscale. and then remove background. Now, the text is still in grayscale, and I'll zoom in so that's easier to see. But all of the color content in the background has been removed, and this will make it easier to erase any artifacts from your image in the QC step. I'm going to finish this off by adding an automatic deskew. We can do curvature correction, just leave the default settings on that one, and horizontal centering. We also have the ability to reorder or rearrange tools within this list by simply clicking and dragging. Pressing the green Start button in the lower left corner of the screen will move this book to the current dashboard, and LIM will automatically apply this list of tools or actions to each image within the document folder. So far, we have imported images into LIM, used the image processing step to create a list of actions for LIM to apply to all of the images within the chosen document folder, and we've told LIM to start applying that list to the images. To continue on, find the document in the current dashboard. When it displays the message waiting for user, double-click on the entry and the images will open up in quality control. On the left of the screen, you can see thumbnails of each image in the document folder. Then the preview of the selected image, the list of image processes we applied during the image processing step, and finally on the right, the tool list. Rather than doing a quality control check on all of the images in this book, let's focus on a few tools, actions, and features of LIM that can be used to edit images and increase your productivity. The first image to edit is the front cover. Clicking on an item in the image processes list will bring up a preview of the image at that current step. So we can see that the front cover is green. Let's preserve that color and also adjust our crop box to get this image looking more like the original. This manual selection step was input by LIM. It is the crop box size that LIM is using to crop the image. The Detect Page Region tool is telling LIM where to place that manual selection box, and therefore what part of the image to crop out. So if we delete that step, we can move the crop box or the manual selection step and manually crop the image. Now we should leave this page in full color, and we just recropped the image so we know that it's properly centered. Let's get rid of the rest of the steps in this list, which are now unnecessary for this image. Now your mouse is always ready to make a manual selection box, and you can hold down the Control key on your keyboard to create more than one box at a time. Then apply an action, such as erase. In case you make an error, there are two ways to get erased content back, for example. The Undo button at the top of the page, or you can simply delete the steps from your image processing list. You also have the freedom to convert a single image or a group of images to a different color mode. You can simply delete the conversion to grayscale from the image processing list to get this particular image back to color. We can also apply the threshold tool to convert an image to bitonal. The auto threshold option is the default, while the global and local settings give you more control to ensure that you get excellent results with any image. The Cleanup Margins tool is very useful in processing books that have shadow in the gutter. This tool is made up of two different parts. The first detects and selects the text block, and the second step erases the information outside of that block. You also have the option to right-click any of these tools and add them to your favorites list, making commonly used tools easier to find. You can sort thumbnail images by several different criteria, one of which is a pencil graphic that has been added near each edited thumbnail. LIM also automatically checks for certain defects and flags images with a yellow triangle symbol. After doing a quality control check on all images, click the green Next button to continue on to the structuring step. The structuring step allows the user to define a document structure and tag images. Choose a PDF as one of your export options, and the tags associated with the images will be displayed as bookmarks. This screen is similar to the quality control layout, with thumbnails on the left, image preview in the center of the screen, and the standard book structure visible to the right. We will be assigning pages different tags by clicking a thumbnail to select it and dragging it over to the appropriate tag or name within the book structure. Let's start by moving the first page to the cover tag. Certain tags will be highlighted in yellow or green when you drag a page to the structure tree. The green shows where the selection will be put, and the yellow shows where the previous pages will be sent. This is one of LIM's autofill features. For example, these images 2, 3, and 4 are part of the front matter, but don't need to be individually tagged. Page number 5, however, is our title page, which gets a specific tag underneath the front matter heading. In selecting image 5 and dragging it to the title page tag, we can see that it will be highlighted in green, and images 2, 3, and 4 will be assigned to the front matter tag, which is highlighted in yellow. This can definitely save time because the user does not have to select multiple pages to put under a particular section. They can simply drag the first page of each section, and LIM will automatically fill in the rest. Continue by tagging the copyright and table of contents pages. Select multiple thumbnails at once by pressing the Shift or Control keys. If you accidentally move a page to the wrong tag, such as this copyright page, it's easy to select the page and drag it to the correct tag. LIM will reorder the tags as needed to keep our pages in order according to image number. Also, LIM will purge our document of any unused tags after we have completed the structure step, so no empty tags will be visible in the exported PDF. At this point, we have structured the cover and front matter of the book. We could continue on in the same way and manually structure all of the chapters in this book, but I want to show you two automatic tools that will speed up the process. Click the Auto Pagination tool and choose a page spread with page numbers. Draw a selection box around the page number on the left and the right-hand page. Click OK. When OCR is completed, LIM will display the numbers in a chart. LIM will do its best to analyze the page numbers, and if there are pages without numbers visible in that selection box that I drew, it will use surrounding page numbers to fill in the gaps. LIM can also handle a book with pages that are inserted without a page number being assigned, such as an image plate. You can manually edit the assigned numbers with a simple click. LIM also provides sorting options in this step. Click the yellow triangle to see which pages LIM has flagged for the user to review. When you have reviewed all of the page numbers for accuracy, click the OK button and LIM will apply the page numbers to each thumbnail. You can see that this book has an extensive table of contents, stretching over multiple pages. For this tutorial, I will select just the first page, but you could also select the group of images and apply the OCR table of contents tool to that entire selection. Once LIM has OCR'd the table of contents, it displays its findings and gives the option to edit the text. You can also add and remove entries. Now LIM knows that if Chapter 1 starts on page 1 and Chapter 2 starts on page 10, for example, that all of the pages in between those two numbers belong in the first chapter, and it will automatically assign them. Finish the book structure by manually tagging pages not included in the table of contents. You have the option of going back into the QC step in case you spot an image during structuring that really needs some work. The tagging that you've done in the structuring step will be automatically saved. Clicking the green Next button will automatically send the book to the current queue, and LIM will OCR the entire book and export it in the formats you have chosen.